No matter how the cachet of the WNBA elevates, remember, it could have been even better. You messed it up. You messed it up.
It's possible that Caitlin Clark's European offer may permanently alter the WNBA.
There could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games in the Big Three.
The WNBA is in a panic as Caitlin Clark's relocation to Europe looks more possible. Perhaps you should have considered showing a little more respect for your big star. Now that Caitlin is going to significantly damage the WNBA, who will watch without CC.
Caitlin Clark, it seems like this entire season, she was the solution for so many things, but so many players, coaches, media people, so many people were also painting her out to be the problem. She could never do enough. She could never speak out enough. Her fans were the issue. Fever fans were the issue.
These are the individuals. What occurred was that Caitlin stormed through broken records like there was no tomorrow, leaving the WNBA shaken up. You have little experience, so you won't handle the WNBA as you had to deal with all season.
Many people are watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Caitlin was left with no option by these analysts. The persistent hatred and hostility directed at her are enough to warrant a new beginning in a league that genuinely values its top players and prevents them from being singled out.
Basketball has really consumed my life for a year, so I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that's happened. I feel like I didn't even have time to really reflect on my college career because it ended so fast.
It appears that Caitlin Clark is prepared to accept the apparently incredible contract offer to play in Europe, but there is more to the story. Despite all the attention, admiration, and undeniable impact she has had on the game, Caitlin Clark has faced many challenges in the WNBA, from the league's inability to adequately protect its star players to the lack of proper support on the court. These challenges have culminated in what may be one of the most shocking career decisions we've ever seen. Caitlin has finally had enough of the way she's been treated in the WNBA, and after enduring countless frustrations, she is finally making the decision to leave the league. Caitlin Clark's decision to move to Europe and leave the WNBA, it's obvious that Caitlin Clark has had enough. Time and time again, we've witnessed opposing players get away with excessive physicality when guarding Clark, frequently crossing the line with aggressive and occasionally dangerous play. It's almost as if the league has allowed these tactics to go unchecked. The WNBA hasn't always treated her with the respect or care that a star of her caliber deserves, whether it's the lack of protection on the court, the constant targeting by other players, or the league's apparent indifference.
Nonsense about things that Caitlin was doing wrong when, in my personal opinion, she was doing nothing but going out there and playing great basketball every night and ignoring the hate that was coming to her from all sides, not only from fans.
You could even argue that the WNBA has allowed this behavior to continue because they understand that Clark's presence on the court attracts attention and increases viewership. After all, a little drama gets people talking, but for Caitlin, the lack of protection has gone too far. Fans have taken notice of the outcry on social media platforms, where they have been voicing their frustrations about how she has been treated by both opposing players and the league itself. They have been calling for more protection, fairness, and respect for their favorite player, but despite the outcry, little to nothing has changed and Clark feels abandoned, almost as if the league didn't care enough to make the necessary changes.
And look at what the NBA became. Even when Jordan was ascending and the league clearly saw that that was the dude, and Nike was marketing the living hell out of Michael Jordan. I want to be like Mike. It was still Bird and Magic.
Caitlin Clark is finally listening to her fans after being unfairly singled out and mistreated for season after season. She has had enough of the league's lack of concern and has made the decision to take charge of her career by quitting the WNBA. Clark is seeking a new chapter where her tremendous talent, commitment, and influence on the game will be fully appreciated as they should have been for a long time. Let's now discuss the consequences. There's no need to sugarcoat the fact that the WNBA is about to undergo a significant decline, and it's all because they overlooked how important Caitlin Clark was to the league's success. Without Clark, the WNBA will immediately suffer from a decline in both viewership and revenue. Whether they were casual watchers or ardent basketball fans, everyone watched Caitlin Clark whenever she on the floor because she was a huge draw for the league. The NBA faces the monumental challenge of filling that void. Sure, there are other talented players in the league, such as DJ Carrington and Angel Ree, but let's face it, they don't have the same strength or charisma that Clark brought to the game. This isn't to diminish their ability. Both are amazing athletes, but Caitlin Clark was operating on a whole new level. She wasn't just a player. She was a movement. People weren't drawn to the WNBA. They were drawn to her because of her fearless shooting ability to take over games and her competitive spirit, making her a must-watch athlete. The extent of the Caitlin Clark impact is only now becoming apparent to the WNBA. Losing Clark would result in millions of dollars in lost revenue from ticket sales, merchandise, TV deals, and sponsorships. The saddest aspect is that it was all avoidable. The league had every opportunity to give Caitlin the support she deserved as the league's face, to make her feel appreciated, and to shield her on the court, but they failed.
The fact that she was getting all of that, yet all of these eyeballs were coming to the league because of her. The Indiana Fever was turning away games into home games.
They will now pay the price for allowing problems to develop. The WNBA is soon to learn how much they lost. Therefore, Caitlin's departure marks a turning point that might have disastrous effects on the league's future. What specifically has Caitlin Clark been promised in Europe? Anyone would be stopped in their tracks by the startling numbers being floated. The contract she's been offered, according to several sources, is significantly more than anything the WNBA has ever offered in the EuroLeague, where players are regarded like royalty. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is being presented to Caitlin. The choice to relocate abroad was essentially made for her because she will not only be earning a lot more money, but also have the advantage of playing less games, which will give her more time to rest, recuperate, and perform at her best.
Draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%. Between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%. Between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%. What Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days.
In addition to providing Caitlin a contract, Europe is giving her the opportunity to represent the league as a whole. As Caitlin steps onto the court, the lights go down and thousands of spectators burst into thunderous applause. The excitement in those crowded arenas is evident. Every cheer from the crowd echoes through the stadium as she takes a deep three, but this time, the fans are there for her, not just to watch a basketball game. The EuroLeague is aware of this and is ready to make her the face of their brand, treating her like the international superstar she is. How does that feel? Do you care? That's not just about Europe giving Caitlin a new platform to rule. It's also about making her the world's largest basketball star, with arenas brimming with ardent supporters who applaud and appreciate her every move. Europe is prepared to ensure that Caitlin Clark shines brighter than ever before, but she isn't the only one making significant strides. It is evident that Caitlin Clark is poised to enter a new era of grandeur. In pursuit of better possibilities, other WNBA players are beginning to choose the same route. Abroad, for instance, it has been rumored that Caitlin is going to Europe, while Kelsey Mitchell and Nalissa Smith have chosen to play in China during the offseason. The WNBA's pay structure just cannot match what international leagues are offering in terms of salary and experience quality, and this trend is quickly expanding among WNBA players as they realize that playing abroad not only offers much more money, but also better treatment overall.
How's it feel? Do you care?
Players like Caitlin, Kelsey, and Nalissa are seeing the advantages of fewer games, more rest, and higher earnings, making the decision to play internationally almost a no-brainer. When you compare the schedule's compensation and player care offered overseas, it's easy to understand why more athletes are choosing this path. Whilst all this is going out, Jason Whitlock believes Caitlin should star an unrivaled league, where the best of the best compete against each other in the off break of the WNBA, this would lead to players like Kelsey Mitchell and Alyssa Smith not needing to travel abroad to earn their wage. Instead, they can make their money in America with an unrivaled league full of talent. This will give players better opportunity, and they will be able to make something out of this rise of talent in the women's game. We have some incredible prospects coming through, yet they aren't going to receive the pay they deserve. Instead, they will have to generate their income through sponsorships, but this unrivaled league idea adds a whole different spectrum to the table. Back to Caitlin Clark and the WNBA, this shift should serve as a massive wake-up call for the women's basketball. The league is at serious risk of losing not just Caitlin Clark, but other top players as well if the WNBA doesn't step up and reevaluate how they compensate and treat their athletes. They could face a mass exodus of talent. The reality is clear: players no longer have to settle for less when international leagues are willing to offer them so much more. If the WNBA wants to avoid an even larger talent drain in the future, they need to rethink their priorities, and fast.
All of this comes together and you need a star, and she is the star.
Perhaps the most shocking aspect of this whole situation is that the WNBA didn't seem to try very hard to keep Caitlin Clark. They didn't make a big offer, make a grand gesture, or show how valuable she was to the league. Instead, they essentially let her leave without a fight, which is a perplexing decision. For a league that has been working hard to increase its fan base and compete on a broader scale, the WNBA let Clark slide through their fingers when she had the potential to be the biggest celebrity in American sports. Losing someone like Caitlin is a monumental mistake.
Molly, I said...
Really, Molly? Wow.
They jumped on...
Without a doubt, the WNBA will regret this choice, and it will negatively impact their financial results. The Caitlin Clark effect was genuine. She was the only player in recent memory to raise the league's prominence, draw in new supporters, and create enthusiasm. With Clark's departure, the WNBA must face the painful fact that they are no longer the top destination for the greatest talent in the world. Clark was becoming a household name and bringing an unmatched level of attention and enthusiasm that the league hadn't experienced in years. Better contracts are being offered by other leagues. With Caitlin Clark gone, the WNBA's claim as the premier league in women's basketball is now on shaky ground, and they will need to work extremely hard to bounce back from this loss. Better treatment and fewer games make them a more appealing alternative.
I know she will do her best. I know she's talented, but she's not strong enough and she doesn't have enough experience right now to compete at this level.
The entire basketball landscape is about to change as a result of Caitlin Clark's move to Europe. This is an amazing chance for Caitlin to continue her career in a place where her talent will be fully recognized and compensated, and she will be treated like the superstar she is on and off the court. Her game will continue to evolve on an even larger stage for the WNBA, but this is a complete disaster. The league's failure to protect, support, and properly invest in Caitlin has resulted in the loss of one of their brightest stars, and now they will have to deal with the fallout.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
The question now is whether the WNBA can bounce back from this huge loss, or if this marks the start of a much bigger crisis for the league. Caitlin's departure is more than just one player leaving. It's a symbol of the WNBA's struggles to retain top talent in the face of better offers and treatment overseas. Additionally, subscribe to see more videos today.